So, I want to talk about something and dive deeper into this because I see a lot of videos about people that are always saying, like, oh, the independent woman, like, they don't need love, they don't this, they don't that. Independent women were never independent their whole life. And it depends. There's two types. There's the ones that were forced to be independent and probably had boyfriends when they were younger. It didn't work out and she had to rely on herself. Or there was women who grew up and again they had to help their family. They had to be in a masculine role. They were doing things to survive. I don't understand why people don't grasp this. And I think what happens is when you've lived an independent life and I got it, miss, I could do everything on my own, you are conditioned to do that. The same way a man is conditioned to do certain things and that's how you're set up, it's the same thing as a woman. Do I believe every man should be with a woman like this? Of course not, because if you're going to constantly get mad at somebody for helping you or push somebody away, that gets old really quick, especially at this age. Either you want the fucking help or you don't. So I understand that. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because a lot of people like to just judge real quick with not understanding a deeper mindset. Same thing as a guy. He's a player. He talks to all these women. He wasn't like that before. He didn't just wake up and be like 20 bitches. Nobody does that. He gave his all to one woman, probably cheated on him with his best friend, fucked him over. And ever since then, he said, what is the point of being nice? Do I think that people should just throw in the towel over one situation? No, I don't. Because I think in a non-rude way, I think that you let the people get the upper hand. And in my mind, you become just like them and you're just as weak. The reason why I say this is because if you had a job, and you lost your job or whatever, you're not going to go, fuck this, I'm going to be homeless. F you guys. Nope, you're going to get up and find a better job. You're going to go to school and get a better job. So why don't you get back up and get better at what you're trying to do? Stop giving up at one little minor inconvenience. I've been hurt. I've been cheated on. I've been through certain situations, but I'm still going to go out there and try. I'm not going to just, fuck it. And again, from somebody who, does love pretty hard, does give their all, I understand. I understand this is not something that's super easy. I know not everybody's the same, but why give up and throw in the towel on something all because you gave it to one wrong person or one person in your life or maybe a couple? Again, you're giving up on yourself and giving up on things when God intended you to love people. God intended you to have people in your corner. It works so much better when you have a team behind you. But again, if you're pushing people away who are trying to be in your corner and help you, how can you ever see the light of day if you're constantly pushing people away who love you? So my whole thing to say about this is independent women don't always want to be independent. They just want to be around somebody who can love them. They just want to be with a guy or a person. Maybe you meet a guy who's independent as well too, who just doesn't drop the ball, who actually means what they say. It's like an overthinker. An overthinker needs to be with an over communicator. They can't be with no whack ass speaker. They need to be with somebody who's transparent, tells them things before they even find out or anything like that. That helps that dynamic. So for somebody who's really independent, they just need a man who's well aware, emotionally intelligent, and a man who's not going to drop the ball and is going to be there. And again, as long as there's not that push and pull dynamic, it can work. But I just really feel like the independent women thing gets dragged so much when there's so many women out here who have good hearts, but they're forced to work. Like, I don't understand that. And to me, I work, y'all. I'm not saying, man's job is to work only. I believe women can work as well too and still have a family. Because again, like I said before, there are some women out here who don't have the luxury of just chilling at home. There's some women who don't sell their treats. There's women out here who don't do OF, so they can't just sit at home and lay on their ass. A lot of women do have to work, and there's nothing wrong with that. But again, I think some women sometimes, I think they hyper fixate over that and think they have to be in a masculine role when working for yourself is a human thing. So ladies, don't let the independent thing get so bad to the point where you won't let a guy help you. You won't let a guy try to do things for you because like I said, you push somebody away long enough, they're not going to want to deal with you. But again, like I said, there's a lot of women out here who I've seen it before. They're nurses, their fathers were sick, people in their corner were really sick, and they had to step up to the plate and help with bills. It just worked that way. I remember when I was younger, I had to work at a very young age. My grandpa got really sick from cancer. So I just really feel like sometimes when people are like, oh, all these bitches care about is a fucking career, this and that. But let's dive deeper, because there's a lot of women that maybe were poor, maybe were homeless, maybe lived in hotels, maybe didn't have no money for food. So now she's so fucking scared to ever be put in that position. She doesn't want to beg a man for money or rely on a man for money. She's going to do it herself. How can you not respect a woman who goes out there on her own and does it on her own? I see nothing wrong with that. And I come from a household where men pay for everything. And I still work. I still do what I need to do. I still make my own money. You see? So to me, I can't really judge a woman who's independent and takes care of herself. The whole thing I don't get is I'm a boss babe, independent. Girl, you're making money like everybody else. Calm down. You don't see men doing that shit. That's the only thing I'm like, or I'm an alpha female. Calm down. That to me is that's so dumb. Because we're all grown, paying bills, and you're the main character in your fucking video game. Relax. But that's not the point of the video. I just really don't understand why people think independent women want to be independent and want to do this stuff on their own. It's hard. Just like a man has a life that's very hard. He does things on his own. He doesn't have no help. I think strong conservative men who have that mindset are almost on the same boat as women who are very independent. Yet they judge each other so much. And I'm like, you guys are on the same side, in all honesty. But again, I just don't understand the hate towards women who are working on their own and stuff like that, when a lot of the times they didn't have a choice. Some people aren't born with a fucking gold spoon in their mouth, y'all. So maybe we need to take that into account. But yeah, that's my take on that.